Hey everyone, welcome to the Checkered Chat round 2 for tonight. We recorded basically an entire episode, and then we're working with a new program here at the Checkered Chat. Great product, just little ins and out things that I don't think about every once in a while, and then it ends up biting us in the ass like it did tonight. So tonight we're talking about Pocono, and when I say tonight, it's 9:15 and we're starting this.
Yeah.
I have to be up for work at 4:30. So,
Don't say we're not committed.
yeah. I love you guys. All the people that listen to this, all the people on TikTok, y'all are TikTok, Instagram, whatever, wherever you're listening to this or seeing anything from it. We love you guys. This will actually come out on Friday. We will be at the race Saturday in Atlanta.
I'll be Friday.
Yeah, he'll be there Friday
Saturday
night. And if you're going to see long shot, but if you're going to see Blonde Shell in Atlanta, I'll be there. Come find me. I'll wear some kind of NASCAR or something, probably, more than likely. But yeah, so round 2 on this Pocono recap for Truck, Xfinity, and Cup. And we're gonna more than likely dive into our brackets, and I can edit this out if it ends up we don't have time for it, but we will do our best.
Yeah.
So news that happened this week.
All right. Jordan Taylor is going to be running trucks with Spire at Lime Rock. And then also Cam Waters is going to run trucks for ThorSport, I believe, as well. I think that'll be interesting to put them out on Lime Rock for the first time. The trucks go there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like a good fit. I think that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I mentioned this in the first recording, but I didn't realize Lime Rock was a road course till like 2 days ago, something like that. Sorry.
I won't even get to watch it, I don't think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
I'll record it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Find a replay of it or something somewhere. But yeah, that should be interesting having M's a guy out there in the trucks. That'll be fun.
Yeah. And a supercar guy.
Yeah, that too. So next thing we got recently fired, as in in between our last episode and this one, was Tab Boyd. He was spotter for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. over at Hayek Motorsports. He will be spotting in Atlanta for Christopher Bell, who recently had his spotter quit.
Yeah, and they've kind of had a rotating door of people to try.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting because if he leaves Hayek, the really small team, and then leaves as in
he got fired.
He got fired for saying mean things about Mexico and about his time there and how it sucked and everything and all that stuff. Yeah. But if he lands a job at JGR,
it'll be like Larson going up to It'll be you need sensitivity training, but here's a way better job for you.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah. That should be an interesting thing, depending on how it turns out.
Just let him spot for Kyle Larson. I'm sorry. The intrusive thoughts have won again.
Anyways, on to the next one.
So I'm just not gonna look at you, and it's gonna make it easier to finish this. So the Hendrick 17 Xfinity car was given an L1 penalty following Pocono. Are you okay? They found a issue with a main frame rail in the car. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's better that he didn't win, and then they had the L1 penalty than for that to have to get walked back. But yeah,
woo, happy Chase Elliott fan.
Yeah.
Anyways, so on to this one that we dove so deep into.
Yeah.
In the first
We're probably cutting 20 minutes off.
So lost episode part 2, I guess.
Yeah.
So okay. Rickway Racing gets bought by founding Spire team member TJ Poocher. Yeah, I'm not going to say the way I first pronounced it because you know what's funny? I mentioned that earlier. I said, I was like, yeah, because I don't want it to sound bad and all that stuff. And then I proceeded to say the F word on the podcast. I was quoting someone. We try to keep it clean, you know. Anyways.
We keep it clean until Justin drops the F-bomb.
Yeah. True. Anyways, remotely clean, you know, PG-13. I don't know. I would say, I guess it's a PG-13 podcast.
Yeah.
We're allowed one per episode. Or one per season?
I don't think it's episode. I don't know.
Well, I know if a movie has more than one F-bomb in it, it becomes rated R.
Yeah.
But either way, whatever. So he buys Rick Ware.
Almost choked. Sorry. Wow, this one's going really good.
Anyways, so sorry if that was really loud. So he buys Rick Ware Racing and plans to expand into a 3-car team, keeping all current drivers and employees. So this is interesting for sure. We kind of dove a little bit into it. We're just gonna actually put it on paper. Actually, this time, calling it now, Rick Ware Racing becomes the #1 Dodge team.
Yeah,
top tier. They pull. Another thing that was announced this week, or well, announced about an announcement, I guess, and we can just talk about it with this a little bit because it kind of just the next thing and it's really small. But Suarez said that there's an announcement on his future at Trackhouse. He's currently on a 1-year contract right now.
Which part of that 1 year was him not fully believing in Trackhouse, and then part of that was also Trackhouse not fully believing in him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't get re-upped.
But we'll see what happens because you have Zilich waiting in the wings. Yeah.
We can make like an in-depth of our Rick Ware conspiracy, like into a TikTok, separate from this.
That works.
Basically, long story short, to give you a little preview, and we'll make a TikTok out of it to kind of explain it better for you guys. Again, just trying to keep this moving a little bit to fit what we want to fit in. It's been a long day. We think Rick Ware, the only way that they're going to end up with extra charters, they're going to have to get their one back from RFK. They're probably going to end up swapping manufacturers to be an A team with Dodge, Honda, I don't know, whoever comes in, probably Dodge.
Yeah.
And then from there, we get some drivers, potentially big name, that are jumping manufacturers from Chevy, Ford, Toyota, etc., onto the next.
Yeah. Save the names.
Yeah, we'll save all the meat and potatoes, if you will.
Yeah. We'll make an actual video for it. I think it'll be pretty interesting. But yeah, so that is all we have on news for this week. Yeah. It's been a fun night, guys. Yeah. So anyways, on to the truck race. Pretty good race overall.
Yeah. So on this week's episode of the Corey Haim Show, he becomes the 3rd driver in Truck Series history to lead a lap in each of the 14 races to start the year. Mike Skinner and Christian Eckes in 2024, your other two. Mike Skinner, legend in the Truck Series. Christian Eckes was very good in his short time there. Those are great names to be, included with. He also passed Todd Bodine for 10th all-time in laps led, which is wild for being 10th in all-time laps led and how much less time that he's ran than some of the other people he's passed. 100%. Stage winners, Lane Riggs wins stage 1, Corey Haim wins stage 2, which that also is his 12th stage win of the season, breaking the single season record for most stage wins. So yeah, and then shocker, believe it or not, he doesn't win the race. Bad luck.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah,
who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? He gets a flat tire, and that just ruins his day. And then Lane Riggs wins. Yay! I mean, top 3 for me probably in the Truck Series would be Corey Haim, Lane Riggs, Rajah. Maybe not exactly in that 3, but like those are the 3. Maybe not in that order.
Yeah.
Lane Riggs' win is the first time that Ford has won at Pocono in the Truck Series since 2013 with Ryan Blaney. Rounding out your top 10, you have Tanner Gray in 2nd, Caden Honeycutt in 3rd, Brandon Jones in 4th, finally getting a good finish. Daniel Hemrick 5th, Connor Mosack 6th, Chandler Smith 7th, Stuart Friesen 8th, Ty Majeski 9th, and Rajah Caruth 10th.
Let's go, Rajah.
Yeah, Rajah top 10. Let's go.
Yeah, we love to see that.
Okay. Xfinity Series. Not the Corey Haim Show.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Maybe next year. Anyway.
We'll see.
Yeah. Brandon Jones wins stage 1. Connor Zilich wins stage 2. Just notable incidents to talk about. There's really one, and it's Justin Allgaier got loose underneath Chase Elliott on the restart, pushed Chase up out of the way, screwed them both over. Chase got back to a better finishing position, but that is what opened up the race the race for the win. There we go. That's what opened up the race for the win to be between Jesse Love and Connor Zilisch. And then
The two bros.
Yeah, the two besties
fighting it out.
Connor Zilisch wins. So Connor Zilisch gets his first non-road course, tri-oval /oval / is it 3 turns or is it 5 turns?
Yeah, if you want to come in the comments and get all mad at me for saying that Zilisch had a oval dub, get mad at the announcers because they kept calling it an oval. And I know it's a tri-oval, but I'm just going off what they say. Yeah. Anyways, so top 10.
Yeah, to round out, Jesse Love, second. Christian Eckes, third. Good finish for him. Chase Elliott, fourth. Yay, cool, whatever. Ryan Sieg, fifth. Carson Quapfel, sixth. Sam Mayer, seventh. Sammy Smith, eighth. Taylor Gray, ninth. And Justin Allgaier in 10th. So, he's still rebounded for a top 10. And the only reason, yes, I'm a Chase Elliott fan, that I said, wow, cool, crazy, whatever. When you go down and you run a lower series as a Cup guy, if you don't win, it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, you just go down there to win.
Valid.
Well, to have fun, to help a team, and for yourself to try to win.
Yeah.
So, womp womp.
Womp womp. We move on.
It's lit.
It's lit. Woo. Anyways, I do apologize that if this episode is a little dry. Gosh, I hate that first.
The first one was so good.
Yes, like we were probably an hour in and we weren't done with Cup yet.
Well, we were finishing up with Cup probably at about an hour because we had like filler stuff too.
True, but yeah, no, like something that I think I heard another podcast say was they try to always make their episodes an hour long so that most people's commute to work is about 30 minutes, give or take. You can start the episode on your way into work and then on your way home, you finish it and then you're good. You just do another one the next day. You don't have to sit there and have, ones in the queue or whatever. I listen to all my stuff on Spotify, so that's kind of how it is for me. But yeah, no, that's why our episodes are typically right around an hour.
We try our best.
Sometimes it's over. Sometimes it's under. Right
and we feel like it's worth it if it rolls over. Like,
a lot of times when it does roll over, it's not just us BSing the whole time.
Yeah.
It's because of something specifically. But, just a little preface. And I'll probably apologize again at the end of this episode. Not going to lie. But
we'll spice things up here shortly.
Yeah. It'll get interesting. Don't worry. Not saying it's not interesting. I don't think any of you are thinking that, hopefully.
No.
But
they're not.
Yes. To add on to waking up at 4:30, I didn't go to bed last night till probably midnight. So,
nice.
Yeah. Fun times. Woo. I mean, granted, was at a concert last night. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Julia Wolf. I don't know if anyone knows who that is. If not, you should check her out. She's really good. Either way. But on back to NASCAR on the NASCAR podcast. Cup race. You had Denny Hamlin winning the pole. I don't think anybody was really surprised by this by any means.
Sadly not.
I mean, it's Pocono. I mean, he's really good there.
Yeah.
Kiss my rock in a few years. So then you started off the race with a 2-hour rain delay. Woohoo.
Sometimes NASCAR's biggest op is the weather.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just is what it is. So during qualifying, our boy old Willie B spins out, hits the wall. He doesn't have to go to a backup car, though.
Yeah. Because I guess the parts that they needed to fix it back to good as new quality fell within the guidelines of not needing to go to a backup. Still had to go to the back of the field. But...
Yes, back of the field. Ends up finishing stage 2 inside of the... I should have checked this between, but I was too busy crashing out about this not recording.
Valid crash out.
So I believe it was in the top 5 for stage 1. Don't quote me on it, but at least top 10.
For sure, we feel confident saying top 10.
And I know for a fact it was top 10.
And I mean Justin. I didn't get to watch a whole bunch of the Cup race.
I want to say it was top 5. I'm not 100% on that. At least top 10. Yeah. So during stage 1, like, I guess the biggest thing that happened on track, I mean, I'm going to say on track, but you know what I mean, incident-wise. Hosvar gets loose and spins off of turn 3 and somehow saves it. I guess that somehow really is kind of the wall, but I mean, he was so sideways that the roof flaps deployed.
Yeah.
So that kind of paints you a picture of how crazy this was.
It's one of those he probably shouldn't have saved it, if we're being totally honest.
But then also, he saves it, loses one position.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the thing that was the craziest part about it. The whole thing.
Which some of that you can think is how spread out Pocono can get towards the end of a run.
True.
Quit yawning.
Did you not hear me just say I had like 4.5 hours sleep? Blake, I'm old, okay? Like,
yeah, okay, Unc.
At least I'm not getting drafted.
I have asthma, so that's my out.
They still gonna draft you. Anyways.
That's all right. They're gonna ship me right back.
Anyways, so Denny Hamlin wins stage 1. Blake always sends me stuff about me being just to give you listen, to give like a little bit of context.
I know exactly where a
little bit of context. I'm 27. I think. Yeah, 27.
You think?
Yeah, dude, I never can remember how old I am. Dude, I've been like 30 since I was like 16. So like
okay.
Sort of. I don't know. My body has felt like I'm 30 since I was 16.
Mine's easy. I was born in the year 2000, so I'm 25.
We weren't even born in the same millennium?
I don't know. That's too big of a word for me. You were born in the 1900s. Yeah, you were born in the 1900s. I was born in the 2000s. I don't know. Anyway.
What's 100 years?
Decades 10. I don't know.
Whatever. Either way, I'm a little bit older than Blake. Either way, it doesn't matter. He always sends me stuff about me being old.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I say to him? Respect your elders. The Bible says it. There you go.
Yep.
You respect me.
I respect Unc.
It's okay. It is what it is. I don't care.
In his jorts, which I will be in.
I'm just trying to fit in with the young folk, you know.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
All these hip turned youngsters.
Yes, the how do you do, fellow youths, whatever. I don't know. It's from some movie. I don't know.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It was a meme. It's been a meme. I don't know. Either way, whatever.
It's been a while. Intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
So back to
the
Cup
Series race on the NASCAR podcast that we have.
I love how we pre-gamed. No BS.
Yeah.
Keep it on track. Let's go. And here we are.
Well, to be fair, we're sitting at, I think that says like
20 something minutes.
25, 28 minutes or something like that. I don't know.
I need a new prescription because that's blurry.
I have glasses on.
I have contacts in.
Oh, fair. Why did I not know that you wore contacts?
Oh, okay. Now we're just learning a bunch on the podcast.
Hold on.
Yes.
We always say stuff about, like, you guys learn so much about us every week. I'm learning stuff about Blake.
You didn't know I wore contacts?
Okay, it can't be worse than my roommate in college who I got new glasses and I had them shipped to me and I walked out into our living room and I go, "What you think about my new glasses?" And he goes, "Dude, 100% didn't realize you wore glasses." I wore clear frames. And I guess these frames, you can't really see them until I go, like, to the side like that on camera. But, like, they're, like, aviator glasses. You know, the good old Dahmer signature glasses. Yeah. But, yeah, anyways, back to the NASCAR podcast.
Again.
On NASCAR, the tangents that
Part
have
3.
nothing to do with NASCAR, but about your host. Anyways, so where were we? Okay, so 2311, just like their brakes just decide not to work all race.
SpongeBob, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, they're just brakes are gone.
On to Atlanta.
Yeah, literally. I think that was the caption on their finishing order post, was just on to Atlanta.
Probably.
Worst day in franchise history because you have Riley Herbst who blows brakes. Why did I put that like that?
His rotor blows up.
His rotor blows up. Sorry, y'all.
He has a brake failure.
Brake failure. Ends up in the wall.
Lap 42.
Lap 42. Then lap 55,
13 laps later.
13 laps later, Bubba Wallace, brake rotor. Sorry.
Bubba Wallace's brake rotor had done exploded, which caused a brake failure, which caused him to get into the wall.
You take it from me.
So then after that, you said they took
they
Reddick's car behind the wall to
I
check
forgot
on it.
that you were in Savannah when this
Yeah.
was going on. So I'll take it back over from here.
Yeah.
Red.
This is fun. This is like the checkered chat on crack.
This is like whiplash. 2311 does the safe and responsible thing, and it's a safety rep at my job. They take Reddick behind the wall to make sure his car, the brakes are fine, and they all end up finishing in the back half of the top 30. So the back of the field, basically.
They all finish in the 30s.
And then during the
under caution for the Riley Herbst incident.
Okay, it's Riley Herbst. Yes, yeah. So under the caution for Riley Herbst, AJ Allmendinger.
Oh my God. Words are hard.
He decides, well, I'm not going to say he decides because I'm not going to.
I don't think we can put that on him.
Allegedly hits a tire and
allegedly
with his car coming down pit road at 55 miles an hour. Hits a tire that his tire changer is carrying, knocks it out of his hands, hits the tire hits one of SVG's crew guys, knocks him to the ground, and then he gets up and finishes the pit stop. And then afterwards, they cut to him like on the like wall, trying to like catch his breath and stuff. And then later to find out he has 2 broken ribs and a punctured lung. So speedy recovery to that guy.
Because like when the wheel hit him somewhere in this,
it was like in
upper
this
torso region.
He has the gun. His
gun gets drove in,
breaks 2 ribs, puncture lung. So no wonder he was catching his breath.
I mean, adrenaline is a hell of a drug when you get hurt to not know, immediately.
No, 100%.
Because it is wild to me that he cracked 2 ribs, punctured a lung, and finished a pit stop.
It wasn't just cracked.
Well, broke. Yeah.
I mean, because you can crack ribs.
Yeah.
It happens. I mean, a lot of times, I think that rib fractures a lot of times go unnoticed, but rib breaks is where you start to have the issue of a possible like punctured lung because it's so close.
True.
But yes, I know Ball like that.
He's the safety rep at his work, guys.
We're not seeing where I work though.
He's fun at parties.
Yeah, I am.
Respect your elders. Your safety rep elders. So in typical form after respect your elders, we're going to go on to Brad Keselowski. Oh. Brad Keselowski, what's a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas, has gone to the lead pretty much on his own speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say, no, we don't want to be leading. What is this? The lead? We've never had this. So they pit when pit road's closed all by themselves and go to the back.
Yes. My boy hosts. My boy Carson hosts a car.
Hosts a car.
Pulls an absolute like G move and is like following him and then like just
darts back onto the track.
Out. To kind of trick him into thinking because he's like, oh, he's going to pit and it's closed. I'm going to make sure that he pits so that he is not in the lead anymore. So props to him for that.
That was pretty smart. But don't worry. We'll get to more of Brad Keselowski's failures on Sunday later.
And more Hocevar. Literally like the next thing. No, not the next thing. Almost the next thing.
Yes.
So... Michael McDowell blows a tire on lap 75, makes a little contact and then blows the tire. That's the order that happened, I believe.
That sounds correct.
And then he brings out a caution. So this caution, this restart, you can't write this stuff. When people say that NASCAR is rigged,
there's so many layers of the onion to peel back.
Yes,
shout out Shrek.
Yeah. It's you can't write this.
No.
Your front row starting. who other than Mr. Fun Pops himself, Ricky Stenhouse.
Recky Spinhouse.
Ricky Spinhouse. And Carson Hocevar coming to ride the Dente.
Yeah.
As I'm wearing the Ride the Dente shirt. Anyways, I got my dad a matching one for Father's Day. So if you see us at the race, you'll just ask everybody with a shirt on that's above the age of 50. Be like, are you Justin's dad? You'll eventually get him.
Some random guy's like, who? What? Leave me alone.
Also,
Get off my lawn.
It wouldn't surprise me if he's the only guy over 50 wearing a Hocevar shirt.
Valid to a point, yes. The only other thing I could see is he reminds me of Dale Earnhardt. I mean, kid.
that's the only thing I could see, which is interesting too. That my dad likes him because my dad was a big Jeff Gordon guy. Shut up. Anyways, yeah, I like Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon's my boy. As a race car driver.
We'll drop the absolute hottest of takes in here and walk away from it. Jeff Gordon was better than Jimmy Johnson, and continue.
Not a hot take. Jeff Gordon, I fully subscribe to the conspiracy theory of him being the test car for Jimmy Johnson's setups.
Yeah.
100%. Jeff Gordon had already won his championships. He was there.
He also was the only reason that Jimmy was there because he was like, hey, you should totally hire this guy.
100%. And then
Chad pushed boundaries and got suspended for cheating a lot. But props and credit to where credit is due. They changed the format of how you won a championship a lot. Yeah. And Jimmy still won 7.
Yeah, no.
But if you didn't change them and you want to subscribe to the whole Winston Cup Series points throughout when it ended to now, Jeff would have had 7 under Winston Cup points, not Jimmy. So the more you know.
Nope. Big subscriber of the whole conspiracy around Gordon's cars and Jimmy Johnson, that whole deal. Anyways, so where are we? What page are we on?
Lap 82, the big wreck involving Bell, Busch, SVG, and Ty Dillon.
I believe there was more involved in that, but I didn't quite catch who it was. Anyways,
that was funny because I was paying attention, and then I wasn't, and then I was, and I wasn't. Well, I just happened to look down, and the first thing I see is that number 8 car in a wreck.
If there's going to be a wreck at any point in the race, it's going to find Kyle Busch. I've said this so many times. I don't know.
He's washed. He's getting there. Look, he's not Brad K. washed, but he's getting there.
I love Kyle Busch, but
that first year at RCR really tricked everyone.
Yeah, it did. No, that's for sure. I don't know. I'm like, what does he got to do? Because he has been on the cusp of a win.
We're going to Atlanta this weekend.
Yeah,
who knows?
We'll see what happens.
I mean, in theory, Cody Ware could probably win at Atlanta if we wanted to really go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly,
being 110% honest.
That's true. You have a point. But yeah, so there's a pretty large, probably the biggest.
The big one of Pocono.
Yeah.
The tricky triangle tangle.
Yeah. The tricky triangle tango.
Twirl twist. I don't know.
I was thinking of another word and I can't remember it. Anyways, so Chase Briscoe wins stage 2, and then we get into the wonderful fuel mileage race that we get at the end of this.
Which would have been so much better if we couldn't just aero block the whole field. Yeah. I'm gonna stay biased and selfish here, and I like the winner we had a lot more than the one that would have won.
Wait a second. Sorry. Before we get to the the gas mileage race that we had at the end of the race.
But wait. There's more.
Wait, there's more when it comes to Brad Keselowski's pain and suffering.
Oh God, poor guy.
So, would you like, since you talked, yeah, you already said we're going to get back to it. You want to talk about it?
So, I'm just going to read the notes because I don't fully remember this part of the race. To be transparent, at the time of SVG's caution,
SVG spins out.
Yeah, Brad is scored the leader. He was trying an alternate strategy to run long, and the caution found him at probably the worst time possible. The lap is not noted, I will say, but I do kind of vaguely remember this from reading up on it and watching different stuff. Yeah. Can we get Rodney Childers at RFK? Just even if it's for the rest of this year, just give it a shot.
Yeah. Just see what happens.
I mean, what's the worst thing that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You cannot get much worse than what you are right now.
Yeah. No, 100%.
In the nicest way possible. I
Yeah.
like Brad. Brad's grown on me over the years, but like, you can't really get much worse than. I mean, who's worse than you right now? Cody Ware?
Riley Herbst.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cole Custer.
Maybe not now. I think Cole Custer's had a top 10.
He's had. Oh, yeah. He had 2 in a row.
Yep. Anyways, so basically, that's the end. That's the end of Brad Case Pain and Suffering for Pocono.
Tune in next week where there will be more at
more,
Atlanta.
and it'll be the entirety of RFK because they had a terrible day there in the spring, and I wouldn't be surprised if it.
Brad's going to be leading at some point just to get absolutely yeeted out of the way.
Yep. Or
he's going to get bit by the weird pit road stuff.
He's going to end up being involved in the big one and somehow collect Ryan Preece and Chris Buescher.
Not this. Well, never mind. Not going to finish that statement. Please, not Chris Buescher. We'll save the rest of that statement.
I really hope it's not Chris Buescher. But anyways, so somehow Briscoe uses the magic of air to make it to the end and also still do a burnout. Because when they go on pit road, his crew chief is like, hey, we're screwed on gas. And this is the point where I mentioned earlier about keeping it clean. He said a different word.
It started with F.
Yeah, he said it. So,
but also this is kind of like when Denny played the fuel right at Michigan, and then we were like, how does he have that much for a burnout? Toyotas are a cheat code in NASCAR for fuel mileage.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Which, who'd have thunk it? A Toyota Camry gets better gas mileage than, well, it's not really a Camaro anymore. Now they just call it a Chevy. Because they don't make Camaros anymore, but like a Mustang. Yeah. What gets better gas mileage? A Mustang or a Camry? Shocker, it's the Camry.
But anyway, when you pin a Camry up against a Camry,
yes,
and the Camry that wins has less gas than the Camry that came in second, somehow the Camry with less gas comes out on top because Denny's pit stop was, I think it was like 2 seconds longer because he was waiting on gas, and Briscoe they dropped the jack and he's just like, I'm out. And
I don't think they meant for that to go that way.
No. So I think Briscoe was on Dale's podcast this week. They do the little call in with the winner every week or whatever. Yeah. And he said something about he was already just in the mindset of he was already revving the engine.
And he couldn't hear that good.
So Chase Briscoe's your winner. And this is the point in the last episode where we realized was literally like right at this point.
Very factual information.
So maybe from here, honestly, I think it's picked up. It's been a lot more interesting for Cup and everything because we got some decent bits. Anyways, Briscoe's your winner. Your top 10, Denny Hamlin.
Boo.
Ryan Blaney.
Woo.
Chris Buescher.
Yay.
Woo. Chase Elliott.
Yay. Woo. Consistency.
John Hunter Nemechek.
What's a polar bear doing?
Legacy.
Look, I said last week I might have jumped on the hype train at the wrong time. I mean, he's still young. He's really outperforming that equipment this year.
Yeah.
But also Legacy as a whole, like they can't show up at the same time is where I think my mind was going on that one.
No, I agree.
It's one or the other. Mm-hmm. If you can get them both to show up with the same speed on the same week, you might be cooking.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Let them cook.
I mean, we'll see what happens in Atlanta. Kyle Larson.
Boo. I feel we're just going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep
Ryan Preece.
Meh.
About
I have
flatline
no feelings. Cool. It doesn't bother me.
Also, to add, even though Brad Keselowski has pain and suffering all day, he somehow still has a top 10, and that's 2 weeks in a row that all RFK cars have been in the top 10. It's great to see all of that team finally doing well.
Yeah.
And rounding out is your boy Austin Cindric.
Boo. I'm totally kidding. I just wanted the.
I got a video that says otherwise from Talladega,
and I had 14 reasons why I was. I'm just kidding.
Yep.
I was happy for him that day.
So, this is the little.
Are we jumping to the fun part now, or are we doing paint schemes like the new?
Let's jump to the fun part.
Okay.
Even though paint schemes are fun and all.
Well, yes, but. So, if you haven't yet, at the time of recording, at the time that you're listening to this, I think
this is interesting. Time. Off topic completely, but I remember a few weeks ago I mentioned on here about
the 5-finger discount Harrison Burton.
Yes, about someone stealing the Harrison Burton and leaving the cardboard at Target. the diecast.
We have proof.
We have proof, and I actually will get up to show it. Or actually, you know what? I'll just edit it in.
Yeah.
That'll work. So I'm going to show it to Blake because I think I sent it to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why that pulled up in my pictures. So yeah, that's the empty. And then they've had one Chris Buescher car at that same target for the past 3 weeks. I go every Saturday and check. I just need to find out when they restock them. Anyways, that was off topic. But
so
on to the fun part.
Yes.
So if you don't know by now, I think that everybody does that's a NASCAR fan. And I feel like I might be stepping on you because you may have been about to say this, but.
Well, I was just going to say, at the time that you're listening to this, you should still have time to make your bracket entry.
Yes.
It is a long shot, but if you pick every single matchup correctly, I believe if I read it right, it's $1 million.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get that. Let's be honest. This is the NCAA basketball tournament bracket challenge all over again with NASCAR.
Yeah.
I think this is very exciting because in no way, shape, or form is this going to take away from the racing.
Yeah. No,
you're not going to wreck somebody over advancing to the next. You're not going to be thinking about that in the middle of it. You're not going to, if you're I'm just looking at the first matchup here. If you're Denny Hamlin or Kyle Busch, you're not asking where each other are on the racetrack. You're not, I don't think. I could
that's
be
not
wrong.
the matchup.
It is the first round, is it not?
Why is yours different than mine?
Nope, you're right. I don't know why mine.
It's no. Go. Remember what I said? Go to the hyperlink where you sent it to me.
Yeah.
And then just screenshot the whole page and then crop it where the hyperlink photo is in there.
Okay.
And make sure that it's yours and not mine or Mal's that I sent you.
Yeah. So anyway, the first round matchup now would be Denny Hamlin, Ty Dillon. They're not worried about each other. They're not asking about each other.
Yeah.
Maybe we're wrong. Who knows?
So we're gonna go through our brackets each week. We're gonna basically just say, hey, this is the matchup. This is who we think is gonna win. And we'll each put in who we say, and we're gonna update it each week for the next 5 weeks.
And then next week, this week, for example, the matchup will be right because it's predetermined, it's preset. But next week we might have to be I
said this person, but they didn't make it. So
yeah, so this is the matchup, but we had so and so here. Womp womp.
Yeah,
hold this L.
You guys will get a
Fortnite emote on you. I don't know.
Anyways, so matchup 1 is Denny Hamlin, who is the number. Also, the seating on this is just extremely weird the way they did it, but it's the seating. So Denny Hamlin, who's the number 1 seed, versus Ty Dillon, the number 32 seed. I went with Denny Hamlin on this one. I feel like that.
Yeah. Which
it beat Anna, who knows? So
yeah, I also went Denny Hamlin.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm not willing to risk it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree on that. Next matchup is his name's so long it cuts off the seed, so I'll probably just leave it out because I don't have it unless you do, but I don't know if you do. So Kyle Busch versus Brad Keselowski on my end, it cuts it out. Okay.
We're not going to go through all the seeds because a lot of people have long names.
True. That's true. You do have a point there. I just noticed that. So I went with Kyle Busch.
I also went with Kyle Busch.
Valid. I feel like this first week it might be a lot of the same, but then also I feel like it could not be two at the same time.
I don't know. That one's interesting because they're both kind of washed, you could say, but also they both could very well have a great day at Atlanta.
Yeah, it could go either way.
And again, also the way this works, they could finish 35th and 36th, and whoever's 35th could advance.
They've got to beat each other. Yeah, that's the thing.
They don't have to finish great. It just you have to beat the other person. And that's it.
So then the next one is Alex Bowman and Joey Logano, and I unfortunately went with Logano.
I also, for me and Lily's sake, have unfortunately went with Joey Logano. That stupid idiot wins at Atlanta so many times that I've been there, especially on this repave. There's no way I'm not. You want to pick Bowman because who likes Joey Logano? If you like Joey Logano, no, you don't.
That one guy who tagged us in some Joey Logano hype video he made.
Yeah.
Great song choice. I love A Day to Remember, but
boo
Joey Logano.
But yeah, there is potentially money involved in this, and I'm not gonna just be that ignorant to it.
Yeah.
So Joey Logano, sadly.
So the next one, Bubba Wallace and Daniel Suarez. I'm interested on where your head was with
Suarez.
This one. Yeah, Suarez.
Bubba Wallace is a good super speedway racer. not at Atlanta.
Yeah.
Not saying that he doesn't ever run good there, but like, good Lord, does he just have the worst luck ever?
Yeah. The next one, John Hunter Nemechek and Josh Berry.
This one was one of the tougher ones because I kind of just flipped a coin in my head and I said Josh Berry.
Yeah, I went with Josh Berry. Funny, he's the 21 seed.
Yeah, I also literally only picked him because the first one is at a drafting track and he's in a Ford. So
yeah,
that was literally it.
Yeah, I mean, he almost won the pole for
I was
the spring race.
I mean, that's gonna same thing again this weekend.
Then the next one is Chase Elliott and Austin Dillon.
Chase
Elliott, obviously. Ross Chastain and Eric Jones.
This could be an upset just because Ross is very careless. He takes very much. He takes a lot. Jesus, words are hard. He takes a lot more risks at drafting tracks than others.
Yeah, valid.
But I went with Ross overall.
I went with Eric Jones. I feel like Legacy has done really well, and if you go off the trends, it's his week to do good.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I went with Eric Jones.
I'm interested to see where our heads are at on this one.
Christopher Bell.
No, you're good. I was just reading the matchup.
Christopher Bell and Ricky Stenhouse. Christopher Bell. Solely because he won last year.
Yeah, but that
or not last year. Spring. Sorry, y'all.
And he didn't dominate. That was the only lap he led.
That's true.
He kind of was there, right place, right time.
That's
not
true.
taking away from his win before any. If there is a Christopher Bell fan listening,
there is one because they always find us. It's wherever we're sitting. It never fails. There is a Christopher Bell fan, not as often, but sometimes there's a Denny fan, and there's a Joey Logano fan.
Yeah. Well, I say that. Funny enough, if you listen by chance, there was a guy that I sat next to at the Coke 600 year who was a big Ryan Blaney fan. His girlfriend was a big Bell fan. I ran into them at Atlanta.
I thought she was
spring.
a Logano fan.
No, she was a Bell fan.
My bad.
And I ran into them at a merch hauler in Atlanta earlier this year. So if you are still listening, shout out to you guys. Also, I'm terrible with names.
If you're that person, comment.
Yeah.
And let us know. And
sorry that I forgot your names. I'm a terrible person.
Anyways, I haven't met these people. Anyways, the next one, which we now enter the other side of the bracket here. Chase Briscoe and Noah Gragson. Gragson.
Briscoe's had too much speed on super speedways this year, I feel like. Gragson, though, is in a Ford, and Ford's just dominated Atlanta.
That's pretty much why I went with him.
He doesn't have any luck this year, and it pains me.
I mean, who knows? I mean, I feel like a lot of times...
That has a good opportunity to be a large seating-wise upset.
Yeah. This next one is going to be funny. Ryan Preece and William Byron.
So I picked the upset of William Byron.
Okay. Wait. Oh. I thought you meant the real upset.
There you go.
I picked the real upset. I went with Ryan Preece.
No, I just said that to be funny because when we talked about this, I said I feel like some seeds need to be flipped. Which the way that they seeded it, it made sense. But for all intents and purposes of how they seeded it, I went with the upset of Byron. But realistically, Justin went with the upset of Preece.
The next one, Ryan Blaney and Hocevar.
I picked Blaney.
I picked Hocevar, unfortunately.
This one was
it's such a toss-up because Blaney is last year finishes in the top 3 both races in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But then earlier in the year,
he still came back to a good finish after he got wrecked by Hocevar. He's just too good at Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean,
that was my thing.
But then also, I feel like Hocevar is building steam, and I feel like Atlanta is somewhere he really could win.
Yeah.
And also, if you think about it, that's really where he started building steam was Atlanta in the spring, and how picture perfect would it be for him to get his first win in Atlanta, where that kind of started.
Yeah. My other thing on that, too, is Hocevar is going to take more risks, I feel like, than Blaney. So the safer bet would be Blaney.
Yep. So the next one, Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick.
Arguably 2 kind of not impressive racers at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
Unless you factor in earlier this year when somehow Larson became a drafting track god.
Yeah.
And almost won. Jesus.
Yeah. That would have been wild.
I would have been miserable.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of Larson.
What's a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas?
There's a lot of Larson fans in Atlanta.
Why?
There just are. It just
like, I know that everybody picks on Chase fans because like Chase is okay. Every argument that you have for Chase is the same for Larson. I also just feel like it's more of a boring pick as to who my favorite driver is at this point.
I totally get what you're saying there.
To be a Larson fan. It's like if you're a fan of the NFL and you ball and you have a favorite team and then your friend's like, yeah, I like the NFL too. I like the Patriots. I like insert bandwagon team of whatever time.
Yeah.
That's what a Larson. There are real Larson fans
old
out
man.
there.
The Patriots.
Well, I'm saying like dynasties.
I know. I'm joking. I'm messing with you.
Because right now there's, the
Chiefs. Yeah.
Shout out the Chiefs. Because Justin hates them and I don't hate them.
Go Bills. Bills Mafia for life. Anyways.
Yeah.
So
who did you pick? Larson, Reddick?
Did we even say the
No.
picks? I picked Reddick.
I picked Larson.
Dang. Okay. I just feel like history minus
I'm just
the spring race.
I just threw a dart and I said, "Yep,
fair."
Also, Reddick hasn't really showed up. I feel like this year.
Very valid.
Someone do a wellness check on him.
Yeah, dude. Somebody check at the end of the rainbow for him.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so Michael McDowell.
Can we get him sponsored by Lucky Charms?
That would. Please, that'd be so funny. Oh my gosh.
Make him dress up like a leprechaun. Oh, that'd be great.
Okay, so the next one is Michael McDowell and AJ Allmendinger. And this is like, what are the odds that these two end up against each other? Like in this
Honestly,
bracket?
it's so fitting.
It is. Who'd you go with?
McDowell.
I went with McDowell too. Yeah.
He's very good at drafting tracks.
There is a good chance that one of those two could make it to the final.
That is the matchup right there that can ruin the entirety of the bracket.
Yeah.
Because either one of them advancing is not bad because they're both good road racers.
Yeah, because they
could absolutely bust the whole bracket.
One of them is going to advance, but the thing is, the odds are on this next section of the bracket, and if it breaks down to where what I picked, this guy is also a pretty decent road course guy. I'm not saying he's an IMSA driver, but yeah. So the next matchup is Ty Gibbs and Justin Haley. I went with Ty Gibbs.
I picked Justin Haley.
Dang. Okay.
I hate Ty Gibbs.
I mean, okay, valid.
Well, and like also that was just the funny reason, but like I don't feel like Toyotas do that good at Atlanta.
That's
and
true.
Ty Gibbs is running like doo-doo this year. And Justin Haley, where has he been? Is he alive? Does he exist? I don't even know at this point. But
true. He drives a Cybertruck, so who knows?
Yeah. I genuinely have more confidence in saying that Justin Haley is going to move on than Ty Gibbs, and I don't know why.
I get it.
It's weird, but it makes sense.
Yeah. So the next one, you have Zane Smith and Austin Cindric. I think this is a very obvious pick.
I don't.
Bro.
I picked Cindric.
I picked Cindric too. That's why I'm saying it's obvious.
But I don't think it's like Zane Smith qualifies really good there.
Yes, but
front row does really good there. That's not the huge. I mean, yes, Cindric is the best drafting track racer right now. But I don't think it's crazy if he actually does get knocked out round one.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? That's for sure. It could happen. Who knows? I mean, this whole thing is just a gamble.
Yeah,
if we're going to be real. And then our last matchup is Chris Buescher and Todd Gilliland. I went with Buescher.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So, yeah, that's our first round of the bracket picks right there for you guys. We'll update you guys each week. But now,
mine gets stupid.
Yeah, mine does too. Don't worry. So, now we are on to Atlanta, the Quaker State 400.
Presented by
Walmart.
Available
at Walmart. At Echo Park Speedway or whatever it's called now. It's Atlanta Motor Speedway. So, yeah, this is our home track, if you'd say. We love Atlanta. It's always a good time. From the fan zone to the parking lot to the track, it's a good time. It's a lot of fun.
Bring back a 500-mile race, please.
Yeah. It's really funny.
I'm cool with the 5 and a 4.
Yeah.
In whichever order you want to spin it.
Yeah.
Just give me one 500-miler, please. The racing is the racing is too good, but then you also could make the argument that it is that good because there's not an extra 100 miles on there.
True.
Maybe I'll just shut up. Maybe we only
Give
need
you
400
guys just
miles.
a little bit of context on where Atlanta is, or where Echo Park Speedway, whatever Atlanta Motor Speedway is. I grew up probably about 20 minutes down the road from there.
I was probably about 30.
Yeah, give or take. So
And now we're still about 30.
Yeah, roughly. We both are now. So this track is actually kind of in almost a residential area. So there's a lot of people that just walk to the track because they're like, I'm not driving back because I'm going to get absolutely obliterated. And like, I think there was one year we were walking out and some guy was talking to me in Mal, and he was like, yeah, I live about 2 miles down the road. I'm start walking, and if I pass out in the bush, I'll just wake up and finish up walking to home in the morning. And I'm like, hell yeah, man! Like,
do you want to ride to Waffle House at least?
Yeah, like I can get you at least like hopefully a little closer than how you get you out of the parking lot at least. I don't know. Either way, that's just kind of give.
I love Atlanta.
Yeah, a little
great
context.
Atmosphere.
It's a lot of fun. Everybody is like, the crowd is always just so much fun because you have so many people there that have been lifelong fans, that are newer fans. You got a lot of people that it's always like their first time.
Yeah.
It always seems like there's somebody around us that it's their first time.
Yeah.
And
which I will say, it's not even a hot take anymore at this point. It's actually just factual. It's the best racing right now that you can go put your eyeballs on in person.
Yeah,
with
no,
the Cup
seriously.
Series.
Like if you have the opportunity to go to the Atlanta race, go to it.
You can get very good tickets. Now, granted, this is going to be buying a little in advance, but you can get very solid tickets and not spend over $100.
Yeah,
I don't know
100%.
the last time that I've spent over $100 on my ticket alone.
Yeah,
at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and then we sit
front row, and they're usually in the ballpark of $85 to $95.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
If you want to sit higher up, you're probably looking around 100, maybe 110. But like honestly,
but it's hot. But this is a night race. But
it's still gonna be hot.
It's still gonna be hot, but we're going to see if it ends up still being a night race because I think weather is looking a little funky.
It will.
I really hope it does.
I looked at like percentages, and we'll just like slowly just be meteorologists for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So like Friday's a 40% chance, Saturday's a 50% chance. But then you go in at chance of precipitation because that's for the whole day. Qualifying for Xfinity at 3 is 5%.
Oh, that's Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Qualifying for Cup at 5 is 10%. Xfinity race starts at 7, 10%, 5% at 8, back to 10%. So,
but also here lately in Georgia, it's been like, I'm not gonna say every day it's rained, but it's rained a lot. But it's been very just like sporadic. Like it'll be like torrential downpours for 5 minutes, and then that's it.
Hopefully, we'll be fun.
Yeah. But anyways, so as you guys know, when we start talking about the next week race, we start talking about some paint schemes.
Yep.
And we have got our favorite and our least favorite, our favorite part of the episode every week. So
we live for this.
We'd
literally make a podcast just for. No, just I'm kidding.
Yeah. We could make a TikTok and save a lot more time and money. But we do this. We do this for you guys. We do it for the fans. We do it for the love of the game because we know ball. Anyways, so Blake, you know what? I'm gonna start off with what's your least favorite?
Oh, we're gonna throw me into hot water immediately.
We're gonna switch it up because of what our favorite is.
Yes,
and by our I mean we have one favorite,
and by we it is a general consensus across the whole fan base that this is the best car.
Yeah.
My least favorite, Kyle Larson.
You saved it for this week. I know you saved it to use this week.
No.
Listen, you have told me I cannot stand the Hendrick cars. Paint scheme, but I can't pick it because it's a primary.
Yeah,
and I get that. That makes sense. You saved it for our home track to make it your least favorite.
In a way, maybe subconsciously.
I think so.
It is my least favorite off the sole purpose of. It has been the same paint scheme since the next-gen car was introduced. There have been no tweaks. There have been no edits. There have been no modifications. Even if you're a nostalgic fan, you go back. There were tweaks to all of, like, There were tweaks to Tony Stewart's scheme from year to year.
Yeah.
There were tweaks to the Bud 8.
Mhm.
There were tweaks to the 3. We went from a Rainbow Warrior to a Flame scheme. Like, there were tweaks. This is so old and so boring, and this is not meant to be disrespectful to the reason why it's being ran because of Rick Hendrick's son that passed away, that this was his scheme. I understand that. But, like, this paint scheme gets so old and overused.
Yeah.
It's so overrated, too. It's like a 5.
Yeah. Very valid. Anyways, so my least favorite for this week was Riley Herbst's treetop car. Blake likes this car. I think it'd be great for December because it looks like Christmas. It's just not my favorite car. You know, that's just my whole deal with it.
To each their own.
Yeah,
that's why we have.
What is weird is the 2 different greens, and it's because of Monster Energy. That's my main thing why I don't like it. Unfortunately,
fair.
But onto our favorite.
Yeah.
Our favorite this week. And if you think that any car ran this weekend is better than this, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The only thing that remotely competes, unfortunately, is Ty Gibbs, the Sonic and Grillo's car.
What about the Wendy's Swirl Frosty car?
Okay, yes, but that's been ran before.
Yeah.
It's cool. Don't get me wrong.
I don't like the Grillo's Sonic car all that much.
You don't? What?
It's fine.
Okay. Anyway,
it'll
sorry.
Probably look better on track.
Y'all heard me last week talk about Grillo's and everything. I love Grillo's. I think
it's just kind of like
just the combo of Sonic and Grillo's together. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But it's just
blue, green, a little bit of gradient.
Fair.
I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel here.
I mean, true. It's more just the sponsor.
The one car I feel like, honestly, he runs this at the worst time every time. The Aaron's Lucky Dog car.
Yeah.
That car is so good, but he will never win because they always run it up against some killer paint schemes.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I just had to mention that since you mentioned the Grillo's Sonic thing.
So if you think anything other than Chris Buescher's Cinnamon Toast Crunch car,
eat my Cinnadust.
I am sorry. The marketing behind this car
is so good.
Top tier. Post today, Chris Buescher has got on the full Cinnamon Toast Crunch fit. He's got on jorts. He has the Cinnamon Toast Crunch shirt that he did, a Cinnamon Toast Crunch bucket hat. He has got on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Pit Vipers.
They have little spoons for the ear thing.
Those have not shipped yet. I don't know how he has them.
Well, let's be honest. We know how he has them.
But those were a special release that happened maybe 2 weeks ago. He has those. He's got the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Crocs, which I have those.
Are up here somewhere.
That's just the shoebox.
Well,
but also when you open the shoebox, when you first get it, it smells like cinnamon.
You ate the paper out of it?
No, it smells like cinnamon. He's got the full fit on. He's got the socks. It's like the marketing is top tier.
I can't wait to see like the fire suit and everything.
I know.
Too.
I'm excited about it. He tweeted when it came out and said, "Call me Cinnamon Toast Chris," and
they put that on the car. That's on the name rail.
That's the name rail.
Dude, I hope that they have that giant Cinnamon Toast Square mascot just walking around. That would be
awesome. Dude, I'm excited about this one. I love it. It looks
I will
super
buy
dope.
a shirt.
I did buy a shirt. I pre-ordered it. And
I saw somewhere where people were talking about that it might be in the merch hauler. I don't know.
I feel like there's a chance, but then also I'm like,
they announced it early enough there's a shot.
Yeah. No, I mean, this car is like one of the first ones that has happened in advance announced that I've been like, that's going to be my favorite, and it held up. Like, seriously, it's great. I mean, there's nothing else in the field that matches it.
Yeah.
But that's all we got on paint schemes for this week. A little bit of a longer one for this weekend, but it's Atlanta, so it's going to be what it is. So
that one will be fun to trim down, won't it?
Yeah, it will be. It'll work out though. Yeah. I'm excited about it. So, our past next gen winners at Atlanta.
Going all the way back to 2022, it was the year of Hendrick Motorsports at Atlanta Motor Speedway. William Byron won the spring race, the inaugural new repaved race, and in the fall, Chase Elliott won. Yeah, I've been to all of these. And you've been to starting which one?
2024.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So, 2023, spring was Joey Logano, fall was William Byron. 2024, the best finish arguably in history,
Yep.
that Justin got as his first race finish.
Sure did.
Daniel Suarez won. And then the fall was Joey Logano. And then this is the first track this year that we've gone back to a second time. So we can talk about that Christopher Bell won the spring race or the winter race, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, Atlanta is like the second race of the year. So it's always like
the spring race is in February.
Yeah, it was cold. Like it was really cold. If you go back on our TikTok, you'll see like I have on like a beanie and overalls.
Yeah.
Like it was cold.
So your repeat winners, William Byron's won twice and Joey Logano's won twice. Those are the only people that have won more than once on the new repave of Atlanta. We don't have anything, in all honesty, to talk about when it comes to Lime Rock.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I didn't even realize it was a road course.
Yeah. And I mean, it's nothing against them. It's just, it's not like a NASCAR track that has gone away and came back. It's like, it should be a good race from what I've seen. So our picks that we're going to start off with are going to be for the truck series race at Lime Rock. We'd like to, just the trucks are not at Atlanta.
Yeah. They're still racing.
They're still racing. It's almost a double header of the trucks at Lime Rock to the Cup Series at Atlanta.
It is.
So we're kind of just throwing up some picks and seeing what sticks.
Yep, we'll see.
So you want to start us off with your trucks at Lime Rock?
I want you to start off.
Okay. Jordan Taylor. Yeah, I'm literally just picking the IMSA guy that's going to run a Spire truck. So I don't really have much more to say than that.
So mine, I've been saving this one. I was waiting for somewhere that would be a zinger of a track.
Oh, so we're just going off script.
We're going off script, baby. Just because I'm going to pick this and it's going to piss Blake off. And it's literally me just throwing a pick in the trash.
We're going to get so many hate comments.
We are. And I'm ready for it. And this driver runs my favorite paint scheme. Not going to say that it has ever exists by any means, but anyone that has been sponsored by food, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
I'm going with Tony Breidinger. Extreme long shot. I'm not saying that I realize it's a pick to win, but I'm not saying that she's going to win, but I'm saying that I don't know anything about Lime Rock. So that's who I'm going with. And that'll be the only time you probably hear that for now.
Most likely.
Yeah. But anyways.
I would also like to clarify before we get hate comments pointed towards me. I do not hate Tony Breidinger or have anything against her.
No, I don't. I mean, that's the thing. I think she shows some potential.
She showed improvements and she shows potential.
The sponsor that I was saying is Canes. I didn't say that. It never got to that point. Anyways, you guys have probably seen me wear a Tony Breidinger shirt before.
I think we can all be reasonable with ourselves and say that she's not going to win this year.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
That is what it is, But yeah, so bring on the hate comments towards me saying, oh my God, I can't believe you picked her.
And then there's going to be why is that going to piss Blake off? Does Blake hate her?
Yeah, no, not at all. So, Xfinity, who you got?
Nick Sanchez.
Reason
behind it. I will be hanging out with Nick Sanchez and the great, nice, kind people of Big Machine Racing.
We love you, Big Machine. You guys are cool. Thanks for following us.
Yeah.
And if you guys ever want to do anything with us,
we
would greatly appreciate it.
We would love that.
Yeah. We had pit passes with them last year for the fall with Parker Kligerman.
Yeah.
Super cool dude.
Yeah.
That whole experience was great. Like
I will miss that it's not Kligerman.
Yeah, but
I am also excited that it is Nick Sanchez.
Yeah.
Because I liked following him through his Truck Series career.
Yeah.
I was also there for his Charlotte win last year. That was good. So, yeah, I think that'll be fun. And then also, being back there having VIP, I will run into other drivers. And
yeah, definitely.
I will try my best to get a very, very good up-close video of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch car.
Yeah. Seriously, please do.
Yeah. I got you. I will try my best.
I need a good video and picture of that one.
So stay tuned. I'm going to branch out here for you all.
We're going to try and make the most out of this.
And I'm going to try to make my own solo content from VIP experience. I help come up with ideas sometimes for our content, like the Talladega vlog and, you know, other stuff, but I typically am not the one to flesh out said idea. So wish me luck. Thank you.
Yeah. But I have faith in Blake. I think he'll do really good with it. But so for my Xfinity pick, RCR runs the drafting tracks, but I'm not going with Austin Hill.
Thank you.
I'm going with Jesse Love.
Yep.
I would love to see him win, especially after coming off of a P2 last week.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Austin Hill is the king of Atlanta.
He's
but
Mr. Atlanta.
Mr. Atlanta. Did you know that Joey Logano lived in a apartment on the track?
Yeah.
Sorry. That's a little callback to
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah, so on to the NASCAR Cup Series picks. I don't know why I just said that like that, but Blake, what you got?
He's riding the Dente. Carson Hocevar.
All the way to victory lane.
Now, let's get one thing straight. Ultimately, I would love to see Chase Elliott win with my own pupils at Atlanta. But, I mean, Carson Hocevar, very, very close second.
Hold on. So in next gen, the only race that you haven't gone to in Atlanta was the one that Chase Elliott won?
No, I was there.
Oh, okay.
I've been to all of them.
So then you've seen him win with your pupils.
Yeah, but I'm saying like number one, for sure.
Yeah,
but like for the sake of picks, podcast, hee ha ha, let's have fun. I'm not gonna pick Chase Elliott every week and be boring.
Yeah, valid.
But
valid.
Carson Hocevar. Yeah. Just riding off of honestly, if they didn't throw the caution, I think he was gonna win earlier this year.
Yeah.
100%. And I think he's, like you said earlier, he's been on a hot streak, and I think that this would just be the storybook ending of the hot. Well, I hope not the ending of the hot streak. That's probably a bad way to put it.
The cherry, on top of the sundae.
Yes, this would just be a great place to see his. And I'm also selfish. This would be a great place to see his first win.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I'd like to see that.
I mean, he's running the Ride the Dente car, which I feel like kind of started giving him more hype.
Yeah.
Around him instead of just.
I think he's going to be at the Chili's in if I'm not mistaken.
He is, and
there's been a lot of driver. I'm completely off topic, but I've seen a lot of driver appearances around Atlanta.
If you live over towards Henry County,
if you live in the Hampton area or the McDonough area, you're going to have a decent shot at meeting some folks.
Yeah, like host of ours doing a Chili's meet and greet. Ross Chastain's doing Sprouts.
Suarez is doing a Walmart.
Is that the Walmart in Griffin?
It's either the Walmart in Griffin or the Walmart in Lovejoy right up the street. It's probably the Walmart in Lovejoy right up the street from the track.
Yeah. Atlanta typically has a lot. Yeah. Like, I mean, I've told the story for the spring race. I told it on the episode after, but I was driving home on Friday before the race from work and passed Joey Logano signing autographs at a Jiffy Lube in Riverdale. I know saying all these town names and stuff makes no sense for anybody that lives here, but the people that do live around here, they know what I'm talking about.
So essentially, one thing I'll give a cheat code for, go on jayski.com, JAYSKI, and he has a tab on there. Also, just great if you're a NASCAR fan. I like to utilize that a lot when looking up stats and different things for doing the podcast. And but also there is a tab on there for driver appearances. So he will him and whoever else, operate the website, will go through and try to condense you a list of where people are going to be at what time for a race weekend.
Okay. I didn't know that. I need to look at that. But on to my cup pick.
This is going to shock the world.
Yeah, no, it's. So I did not go with Hocevar, even though I'm wearing a Hocevar shirt right now, and I will probably be wearing a Hocevar shirt at the race. I'm going with Austin Cindric because, I mean, how could you not go with the best drafting track driver in the series?
Because it's Kyle Larson will probably run him in the wall again.
Yeah, that did happen. Anyways, just remind me of why I hate Kyle Larson. As I'm looking at a bottle of his prime because I saw it at the gas station and was like, it's NASCAR, I gotta have it, and then it's in my office now.
You got me one too.
I did get Blake one.
I'm a sucker for sports. Bottles.
Because you got me the Blaney Championship body armor. I got you the Prime, and then I also got you the Acuna MVP one because
Yeah, because I couldn't find it.
I
And then I
randomly
ended up
found it.
finding it at some point. But then I also, through my dad, shout out Lenny. I don't know if you still listen to these or not, to be quite fair.
Hey,
but
Lenny.
if you do, hello, I love you. I have Richard Petty Pepsi bottle from one of his championships. I have a lot of Dale Earnhardt Senior sun drops from rookie year, championship years, and whatnot. I have a Coke can from the Olympics in Atlanta. I have a Braves World Series Coke. I have a UGA 1980 National Championship Coke. Like I have a large collection of that.
But do you have an Atlanta United championship one?
No,
I do. It has actually busted open at some point and leaked out, so it's just a hollow can. But it's
sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, it's just a hollow can, but it's up on a shelf. So that's all on that.
I think what RFK should do, because when I was talking through all my bottles, I also have a Jeff Gordon Wheaties. I have like please put Chris Buescher on a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That would be so dope.
I want one.
Yeah.
I need a modern cereal box addition to my cereal box NASCAR collection.
100%.
Because I have Gordon and Senior.
Back. I don't remember who I had this conversation. It was probably with Mal. This is off topic, and then we'll wrap up after this. Okay. I was talking about how sometime it was when I got this shirt. This shirt, it's the Ride the Dente Carson Hocevar shirt with like it's got like bull on it. It's got the Presidente Margarito logo. It's got the car, all this stuff. It looks like vintage.
Yeah.
My Tony Breidinger Raising Cane's truck shirt, same way.
Yeah.
I get really upset looking at Penske merch as a Ryan Blaney fan because Penske's merch sucks. I'm sorry. It just does not. It looks like I don't even know. But the thing is, what I don't get is why don't teams try? It's like it feels like the truck series because like Heim has some shirts that look kind of vintageous. Why don't they try and capitalize on the nostalgia of
right?
Put out a Briscoe all over print shirt.
Yeah.
Put out I don't know. I could go on. Either way, capitalize on the nostalgia that is around NASCAR.
Right.
And and that's the thing, if you make stuff that looks good,
people will buy it.
It's obvious.
I'm not the biggest Brad Keselowski fan in the world, but I own a Castrol shirt because I really like the shirt, and also
Happy birthday, by the way. I bought that for you.
Oh yeah.
My bad. You're a little late, but okay.
I was very confused.
Yeah.
I also work at a establishment that has to do with Castrol, and that's all I'll say on that. But since we were talking about shirts, that reminded me, I have the 2023 Chase Elliott, the Design to Drive shirt.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not familiar with it, I would just look it up on his Instagram.
Yeah,
it's a really, really cool thing that he does once a year, and I'm glad that it is at Atlanta now, which it had 1 year at Darlington, and then ever since it's been at Atlanta.
Yeah.
Essentially, he picks from paint schemes designed by children with pediatric cancer at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
They're based in Atlanta.
Yeah. So one gets to design the car, then the paint, like the paint scheme for the car. The fire suit gets designed, the helmet gets designed, the gloves get designed. So yeah, great cause. They usually put out videos where he like talks with them, and like that the winning design for the weekend's already been put out. The kids that designed that will be there in attendance as his like VIP best friends with him at all times.
Yeah, that's super cool that they do that. Another reason why I love Atlanta. Atlanta is just great. But that is all we got for this week. Again, the front half of this, I'm so sorry if it was just extremely dry and everything, but we
it is now 10:35.
Yes. Wow. This is awesome.
Oh my God.
Anyways, so that's all we got this week for Pocono, and we'll see you guys after Atlanta. This is the Checkered Chat. I'm Justin.
I'm Blake.
You guys can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Find our podcast on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Sorry, good Lord, I haven't done that in a long time. Amazon Music, and you can't forget about it, Audible. Anyways, we'll see you guys after Atlanta. Come say hey to us.